What else is Shavuos about other than cheesecake, right?
What's the minimum share?
So what the minimum share of cheesecake, the halacha of cheesecake, how you eat cheesecake?
Is it a kazayas?
Is the kazayas? You have to eat the k'decheles pras. Was that biggest share?
They missed the point.
Okay, I just tried to bring out a point. No, I
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that wasn't.
They're so busy with the crack on the bottom. What the
Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to share with you.
Don't make a whole share about like Shavuos night.
Come here. Let's stop that. Now, let's go to the real story. The real story is, why do we have Basa B'chalav on Pesach?
Because you didn't do it in enough time to clean the pots
That's
and pans.
the Mishnah Berurah's second reason, I think. In fact, we're going to look at the Mishnah Berurah, and the Mechaber, the Ramah, has a different reason.
Yeah,
and that's fascinating. And you know what? The Mishnah says, Shemati migadol echad, and everybody seems to know that one. And what the Ramah says, nobody knows.
Yeah, well, what is it?
Okay, so I'm going to read it to you. You definitely remember.
Because that's the difference between the Malachim said, why?
Okay.
They said, Hashem, why don't Hashem said? Because they can do Basa B'chalav, you can't.
Let me get there. We're going to enjoy this Shiur, because the whole thing that we're going to try to bring out is the importance of enjoyment. But let's get there. So let's start off with the oh, sorry, it's the wrong one. Got hay. It's meant to be in hay. The end of hay, the end of the hay, has the halacha of. Let me just get it down here. In Hilchas Pesach, the end of Hilchas Pesach starts off with the halachas of Shavuos, and then after Shavuos, and it's Hilchas Yontif. So, the first halacha in Hilchas Pesach, well, actually, the one just before, says Tov Tzadik Daled is the first one. Say the Tfilas Chagas Shavuos, and then it just ends off with a halacha like this. And it's good to know. Ad ches boy. We don't say tachnun, but it says something very interesting now. That's really good simcha for you, no?
So what?
We don't say tachnun from Rosh Chodesh.
Oh yeah? Oh sure.
Okay, good. Okay. Today's Rosh Chodesh, so fine. But now we're going to carry the next piece. It says over here, and there's a minig in Klal Yisrael to put grass. Some people have flowers, but we're going to say that we're going to see that the minig was flowers. It was grass, and even though it's true that there was flowers also, and that's what we do, but there was a big problem with grass, and I went to a shul that had grass, and it stinks. Okay, because that's a no, really, you can't get away with AI for everything.
Fake grass is.
I said fake grass is just AI. That's artificial. That's artificial.
Artificial turf.
Artificial grass is not grass. Okay, so the idea of grass in the shul is for a purpose. And the idea is to basically remind ourselves of how Sinai. Thank you so much, Rabbi. The Mamish do Oimad Al-Gabov over here. Like Avraham Avinu over here. Moshe Rabbeinu, B'Shas Matan Torah. B'Shas Matan Torah.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Thank you.
Okay, now, we're discussing the point, and that shouldn't get wasted. I'm going to start off the effort with Baruch HaTorah Adonai, and Einu HaCholim B'Einem Minim Mizanis. So let's get. We're just talking about the Ramah of the minig of Klal Yisrael on Shavuos, and the first thing he brings down, which in the Ger for Shavuos, he brings down also that we don't say Tachnun, and then he says, "V'nagin nishtech asavim b'Shavuos b'Beis HaKnesses zeichel l'simchas Matan Torah." So it's not just stam as zeichel Matan Torah. Hashem, when He gave Matan Torah, He made it very unusual. Imagine you're in the midbar, which everything knows it looks exactly the same, and Hashem made an unusual nace which was not needed at all, and Hashem uses the word, and the lashon of the Ramah is Zeicha l'simchas Matan Torah. Hashem created part of Matan Torah, and we're going to see in the Gleital, that this was part of what Hashem created at the time of giving the Matan Torah. He gave us to have a simcha. Do you hear what I'm saying? That when you're learning, you have to understand that Hashem gave in Matan Torah, He gave us He didn't have, there's no purpose for Matan Torah to have flowers and to have a grass on the Matan Torah. And no purpose.
There is.
What purpose?
Because that was the man that had the flowers.
Well, it's very nice, but what did it help for on Matan Torah?
So you even saw this beautiful.
And
part of the Hachinuch.
so I want you to know there's something called Bechena, Bechesed, Berachman. When we bench, every single day when we bench, what are we talking about? Bechena, Bechesed, Berachman. What do those words mean? And the answer is, of course, we can have food, but we could have food like those guys who are astronauts that I said before that I thought had tablets, but it looks like they had dried food. Okay, but the bottom line is you can eat food. You can eat food. Yeah, you can eat food, which is very, very simple. And Hashem does not have to create all different types of brilliant. I saw a fruit platter yesterday. I've never seen so many fruit in all different colors on such a tasty fruit platter. Amazing, amazing fruit platter. With all different mamish, you've got no idea today what the Rebbe was zaka us to see. All fruits which all give us nourishment, by the way. It's not that those fruits are
Some of them are quiet, no?
I didn't notice them being climbed. It didn't look like beautiful fruits.
Some of them.
No, but they were all different types. They were actually. It didn't look like climb. It just basically there was maybe a bloody orange style, and all these. One with a white fruit which had the dots inside. I've got no the key. I know it's a kiwi. I know all the different things. You got no idea how Hashem's created so much beautiful fruit that we don't know about even, right? And you make it into a fruit platter. There's no need for it. But Hashem gives us bechein or bechesed or berachmim. The food that we have is given with a tremendous amount of zizkeit. So we should enjoy the food. A blind person also can eat food, but the Gemara says they never get satisfied. Well, you know why? Because a blind person doesn't get that satisfaction that you get by seeing the food. Just seeing the food gets you satisfied. If you know what you're doing, except if you're hungry and you're eating some chocolate. Right? Because there's something about chocolate that you never get satisfied, right? There's something about it. I don't know what it is. I find the same thing like I mean, a lot of foods. I never understood why. Some, if you're blind, you don't get satisfied. And some foods, the more you look at it, the more you get unsatisfied. But okay, that's not the get.
That's how they make it. Yeah.
But let's go to Simchas Torah. So we have something on Shavuos that's specifically because Hashem wants it to be part of Matan Torah. And part of Matan Torah is the simcha you're going to get when you're going to enjoy the Torah. And even though sometimes you're learning Gemara and it's not easy, but Hashem told you that that's part of Matan Torah. And you're going to see in a second, we're going to see some beautiful things. And zecha of the simchas Matan Torah. Not zecha of Matan Torah, but zecha of the simcha. And one of them was Hashem made flowers. You ask a woman, what's the mila of flowers? For some odd reason, they say it with flowers. What's this flowers? What does flowers have anything to do with anything?
It looks nice.
It looks nice.
It smells nice.
It smells nice. So I'm going to tell you, if you give orchids, which don't smell at all nice, they go, whoa.
If you give what?
Orchids.
Orchids.
Orchids, they have got no smell whatsoever. And the women go crazy over orchids. They look so very nice, and they last a long time. So what's so special about orchids? Cost a lot of money. Okay, it's like different lab diamonds and what do you call it? And the other diamond. Right? It's very, very, very special. Orchid. What's so special about orchid? Tons of color, tremendous color, very, very loud color, and it lasts so that you can see the same flower.
I thought it's
orchids can last for a long time. I give orchids, and Imam Rav Miller, I think it was Rav Miller who said this. And the beauty of giving flowers for Shabbos is that Shabbos stays for the weekdays on the table. And you hear that when you give flowers, you're actually keeping showers you're keeping flour on the table, and that keeps Shabbos on the table during the week. Okay, so you can bring Shabbos with you throughout the week, and the longer it stays there. So you buy orchids. I want you to know they're very much they'll keep Shabbos through the whole week. So let's get off topic. Now, so we've got a zeicha over here. I'm just reading a famous, not a famous Ramah, it's a Ramah. Ramah says that we bring it, but it's very important to point, it's zeicha l'simchas Matan Torah. V'noigim b'kama m'kaimis lechel ma'cholei Chalav, B'yom Rishon Shel Shavuos, V'nili Atam. What's the reason why we have the Machale, this thing? It's Vaises is for a different reason. That's for the Zecha of the Inyan of the Shnei Tavshilin. Shaloichim bePesach, Zecha lePesach, and Zecha leChagiga. V'chein Eichel Machale Chalav, V'achkach Machale Basa. So we do it in such a funny way. We do it to be able to remember this idea of the Machale Chalav and Machale Basa. What we do is we have a Zecha of the Shtei Lechem. So it says, "V'tzichim lahavi yomam Shtei Lechem al hashulchan shumakim hamizbech v'yesh b'zeh zichron Shtei Lechem shem akriv b'yom HaKippurim." So let me tell you the little secrets that you can read inside these words that people don't remember. And one of them is your table is a shulchan and it's also a mizbeach. Mm-hmm. There's some words that he says over here. And so remember that now number one is why we're eating. And what we're doing is that it's to do with the fact that your table is a mizbeach. What that is that only happened if you understand what Matan Torah is about. Matan Torah is not about just simply the fact that you were given rules and regulations of how to become a full-fledged Jew Orthodox. You'll pass the test if you know all Arachaim, you're there. Saying that's not a set of rules. It's about making you into a better person. And to look at the table that you're sitting on as a mizbeach is one of the most important points about understanding that Kelev Shel Adam Me'idim Alav, those things that you are going to be having being your table is going to be made on who you are after 120. When a person leaves this world, his table is going to be made of. You hear this? His table is going to be saying who I am because of how you ate, how you behaved, and who is the guests at your table, and what's your life about is all around what you speak about at the table, and everything else. It's a mizbeach. If you look at your table as a mizbeach, what is the difference in your house if your table is a mizbeach? Then your whole house is a different place. If your house has a place where there's a mizbeach, right, then your house is a Makom Kodesh, and it's a Beis HaMikdash Ma'at. So what it tells you is that when you are getting Matan Torah, you're going to have a whole new style of life. Your table is going to be a mizbeach, and your house is going to be a Beis HaMikdash Ma'at, and the whole idea of what you're doing is to become Ovid in the Kodesh Kadoshim when you're davening Shemoneh Esrei. When you're davening Shemoneh Esrei, your head is meant to be somewhere, not in which flight you're going on today, but the head is meant to be going on, sitting inside the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Now, I don't understand it, because if you look at the halacha, mamish mefurish halacha, a person has to be medama in his mind when he's davening Shemoneh Esrei, as if he's standing in the Kodesh HaKadoshim next to the Aron HaKodesh. Now,
why is it all davening the same? Well, I mean, because it's davening, how can you...
it's so hard. It's so hard.
Why is Shemoneh Esrei more special?
Because Shemoneh Esrei is three things, right? You're asking, you're thanking Hashem. You're asking for, you're thanking Hashem you mention Avos, then you're asking your own shaylas, your own private, and you're leading, by the way, davening is a whole process. Lead up to Shemoneh Esrei. And the davening, and by Yitzias Mitzrayim, is you've got no idea. The bottom line is, if you really want to know that part of the discussion is going mamish off topic, but I will show you that I once saw a whole shtickle. I once said a whole shtickle. The idea is, if you look, davening goes like this. It's very, very simple. In 1 minute, 1 minute lesson than davening. That is, davening starts off with thank you. About, I just woke up. I'm thing, and thank you about Torah, and thank you about the Elokai Shem Zah to be Torah. Then we say something very interesting. Before we start davening, we bring karbanos. Why do we bring karbanos? And the idea of karbanos is we talk about Makai Shem Shemaim, is that we're willing to say that I'm like the Akedah. We're willing. The first thing is, I'm yours. Rabban Shalom, I recognize everything comes from you, and I'm willing to be makriv myself for you. And just like a carbon, I'm willing to tell you right now, before I start my davening, I recognize it's all from you. And I give everything of myself to you, like the Akedah. And everything, the karbonos is the idea of being makriv, Adam ki yakriv, a person makriv himself. Then he starts davening. We didn't start davening. He starts with Haidu. A Yid has to start with Haidu. That's the way a person starts, and he goes through with Baruch She'amar, the same idea until Yishtabach. It's very important. The Hallelujahs are all about Hallelujah. It's all about thank you Hashem. The next part, in fact, the reason why the second part by Baruch David, by the way, is a lead up to an introduction to Yetzias Mitzrayim. Because every Jew, every single day, has to understand what Yetzias Mitzrayim all about. Everything's from Hashem. That's what we're doing. We're davening to inculcate ourselves with the idea, because we're going to ask a lot of things from Hashem, requests. But the first thing you have to know is, it's all, my life is about Hashem. So you start off again, you're saying thank you that you're born, and thank you for everything you have, and thank you for the Torah and everything else. And then we say Hoidul Hashem, and you're saying, that's wrong. Then we say Karbonos, and when to give everything up for Hashem. Everything is from Hashem. Hoidu is, look what Hashem did to the Bria, look what everything Hashem's doing. And then we start off with Vayivarach David. It's an introduction, says the Aruch HaShulchan, for Krishma. That we have to say, Joshua, to thank you Hashem for what He did for us, because Yetzias Mitzrayim, says the Chinuch, is the most important part of our life, and everything is about Yetzias Mitzrayim, because Yetzias Mitzrayim Hashem showed us He's in charge of the world. With that introduction, we start Shemoneh Esrei. Now I can start Shemoneh Esrei, and in Shemoneh Esrei I do a miniature, quickie, thank you for what I do, and then I ask my requests, and then I do a Haidah again. Again, the message is, I know it's all from you. Is only before, and then Anisecha, and then Sim Sholem, and we ask everything from Hashem, and we ask again our personal requests. But the message is an ending off with Avolat Goyel, and that's what the Hashem. There's going to be a whole purpose in life, has a purpose, and even though we go through hardships in life, but it's all about the idea. And it's just I've gone over my minute, but it's all idea is that it has a purpose. Hashem gave it in us, and as Veloy, and it's very important that it should be lehev of a rik. What's the lashon over there? You have to have kavanah. So yeah, we shouldn't be for nothing. We shouldn't have a life of just doing because we're born Jews. We're lucky that we're born Jews. I could go on off topic, but we're not going to be able to finish the subject for today. So let's go to today's subject. And we can go on more. But now you answered your question about what davening is about. Davening is a lead up to, and it's a big lead up to, all about everything comes from Hashem. And I will accept whatever Hashem gives me, but I still ask. You, as a guy told me this morning, Medav danken and beten. It's like one of those things that a yid is danken and beten. The end element danken and beten. Danken and beten. Danken is all again. You got to thank you Hashem and now ask for more. You're allowed to do that. That's the way how to do it. We always thank Hashem and ask for more. When something good happens,
does it have to be in that order?
Yeah, it looks like
First
always
says thank you, then you want more.
If a guy says,
how come Moedim is in the end of Shemras? It should be right at the beginning.
Because the beginning is also a thank you. Yeah, it's also it's a different strength of thank you.
You're saying a sandwich in between.
It's a sandwich in between.
Ah, okay.
But you're right. It's a good point. It's a very good point. That it's much stronger thank you at the end. You're right. But what do you mean? We're talking about Mechayim Mesim. I mean, you can't get bigger than that. But that's what he's asking. We're asking Hashem.
You give.
That's a very good question. Why this only bracha that starts with Ato, and the Oitzet first gives an answer to that. No, but Hashivenu was all return. So Ato Chainin says the Chin.
No, help us get closer. Hashivenu.
You want to hear the test of the? Okay, no. So let me just. We'll go off afterwards. So we're going to just now finish this point. We're going to just get the message that we'd love to get the message, and I brought it over here, and that is the message of Matan Torah is not that we got the Torah.
Let's go cheesecake. We have to get to that.
We're getting. That's exactly what we're going to get to. Don't worry, we're going to get the cheesecake. Don't worry about cheesecake. Cheesecake is the most important part of Yom Tov. Okay. Yeah. But before we get into that part of Yom Tov, which is the cheesecake, we have to also get into the part about what was Matan Torah. So we just now I just told you something which is profound, at least in my opinion, and that is Matan Torah was not just the Sefer, set of rules. Matan Torah was making you into a different person. This is a chinuch side. And also Matan Torah was, as we just saw, the reason why we have Zecher le-Simchas Matan Torah. There's a Ramah. There's a Zecher of Simchas Matan Torah. And we have to do this on Shavuos, because it wasn't just that we got Matan Torah, but there was a Simcha that was given, and it's the only bracha. The Hachinuch asked the question, a lot of people ask this question, but he brings it up. And that is, why do we say two brachas? What's the bracha of Harav? No, every mitzvah's lav lahenis. Mitzvah's lav lahenis. So what's this idea of Harav? No, you make it sweet. Mitzvah's lav lahenis. It shouldn't be sweet, do it?
What? Which mitzvah should not be sweet?
The mitzvah, the halacha is. I'm going to ask you a question. The halacha is, if you borrow, this is a perform minahah. If you take a shefer from an avodah zarah, and you blow it, it's also no.
Yes.
Are you allowed to use it for? Are you allowed to use it? Are you allowed to use it for? Forget about mechtas shiur, but let's say are you allowed to use a shefer shel avodah zarah? Are you allowed to use? Of course you can. No, but I'm saying but mitzvah lav lahenis, you're not getting any hanor from it.
Only if you have a hanor from it.
Mitzvah lav lahenis.
A little of an esrog you take from avodah zarah, you're not.
That's different problem because mitzvah b'avera. That's different issue. Okay, forget about that issa. I'm talking about the issa of blow. I'll tell you what the case is. If I was mad at hanor on a shayfer, that's the case. I said I don't want to get any hanor from the person who blows the shayfer.
But you have to listen to shayfer.
And now,
who cares where it comes from?
No, if I gave an issa, so is he allowed to blow for me?
Yes.
What do you mean? I could get him to blow for me.
But you're not having a hanor. But you're not having a hanor from him.
I am. He's blowing a shayfer for me.
That's not hanor.
Why was it made a hanor on the shayfer?
I keep playing with it. It's a mitzvah. I can't play. I don't have a hanor from cookie, fine, but it's a mitzvah.
But so that means mitzvah's lav lahenis then. But I'm getting hanor, even though I'm getting hanor.
You know how you're getting hanor from it? You have a mitzvah. You have a mitzvah.
You getting hanor from it? What about if a guy says I don't get any hanor from matzah, and I eat it?
Okay, so it's both. You do mitzvah, you get mitzvah, you get hanor.
So that's a very good question, by the way, because sometimes there's a hanor of achila, right? There's a hanor of physically eating.
The mitzvah is matzah to eat. Hanor of suffering or not, you have to eat it.
Right, but catch the question. If a guy said I make a hanor that I don't want to eat this matzah.
You don't have a matzah.
Okay, I want no matzahs. I don't want to eat matzahs.
It's not to eat matzah. You can't say I'm not.
So it's Gemara. These are Gemaras. No. It's not Shabbos. No.
What's the difference?
You're missing the point.
What's the difference?
I explained to you.
Yeah.
That guy's not saying I don't want to do the mitzvah's matzah.
I don't do mitzvah matzah on this matzah.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the matzah is also bad. No, I don't want to eat matzah. I'm not allowed to eat matzah.
So how do you do the mitzvah then?
That's going to be a kasha when the Bible made it on Purim time. So it has nothing to do with yet now. There's no mitzvah now. I said this all matzah on Purim. I said on Purim.
Okay.
For the next 100 days.
Okay, so why?
I don't want to have matzah.
Okay, so don't have matzah.
But now on comes Pesach. He's got to do the mitzvah.
I don't know. What's the teretz? No.
Teretz says he's allowed to. The big issue because the problem is even though mitzvah's lav. The bottom line is mitzvah's lav lahenis nitna. That means the mitzvah.
How can he make a neder against doing a mitzvah?
That's a good question. You had a mishpah. The Gemara asked that question. Your best mushpah v'oimid. So it's the question whether it's considered, but depends if I make it directly or not directly. There is a difference.
Why?
Rabbi, can you explain the difference between mushpah and
I wish I understood the question fully so that I could get involved.
So if the gavre person has the mitzvah, to eat matzah.
Right.
You say you're not going to eat matzah, that means you are not going to eat matzah. You can't say that.
Right.
The hefzer, if you say this matzah is also on you, okay, so then it's on this matzah. So what are you going to do? What? All matzah. I'm saying all matzah is also.
Right.
So the whole world of matzah is also. So what could you do?
Yeah, you have to do matzah.
You can't. It's impossible.
But you have
to eat something which is also. You have one chiv and you have something which is also.
Maybe
like a pizza chaza.
Maybe you can't.
So you say I can eat chaza?
No, I'm saying you can't eat the chaza. You can't eat the matzah. It's like chaza.
Right.
Nobody can make you eat chaza. The Torah can't tell you go eat chaza now.
How are you?
To you, this is chaza.
How are you powerful enough to say that I can make this matzah into chaza?
Maybe you cannot. Maybe
if
you
any
can.
other day you can make it, you can make it.
Can I say something?
Too. If any other day you can make matzah into chazan, you can make
You have a
matzah
mitzvah
into
to
chazan.
eat matzah. So why?
But you can't have a mitzvah to eat chazan. If this is like chazan to you,
Why
what are
do
you
you
going to
have-
do?
why do you
You
have
still
to
have
do
a
it?
mitzvah,
Yeah.
so you're being over the mitzvah, but you have no choice.
You're honest. You're
What's
honest.
worse?
Over the
What's-
mitzvah.
What's a bigger barrier? That he eats a matzah and he made an ed on it, or he eats a matzah, or
Eats the chazan.
or he doesn't eat the matzah because he made an ed.
Mitzvah bababeri. You're eating this, you're going to be eating chazan. We can't tell you to go eat chazan. You have a
This is
mitzvah.
not chazah. This is not chazah.
You tie
It is.
yourself up.
What's the
This is
barrier
chazan.
if he eats the
Making
matzah?
a matzah.
What's the barrier if he eats the
His
matzah?
over is
Making
neder.
a
So
neder
what?
is-
He
No,
made the
listen.
ed.
Maybe switching
Can't be
the
chal.
is not chal.
Okay, we're going off topic.
He
No,
made
no,
it
yourself. It's
no.
not chal.
So what?
You have a mitzvah.
Let me tell
He
you
made
why.
it. It's not possible.
Perhaps
Must be a little sugar.
matzah.
Okay, let's talk.
Perhaps.
We can go on topic.
No, really. How does he make a net that he can all get
I almost got to my point. But now
How's one thing
You're right.
to get over another thing?
this is gorgeous.
Neder and
Listen carefully.
I will not eat.
Ask Rebbe.
No, maybe neither of those things.
Oh,
Get
Rebbe.
back to the cheesecake. This is easier.
Okay, we were just having a big fight over here, which is part of which I really wanted to get to, but nothing to do with this. And that was the idea. By the way, this is Simchas HaTorah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm saying,
What's the difference? Well, guy says, I'm not going to do the mitzvah of challah, of matzah. The guy asks himself of matzah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Let's say on Shavuos.
Yeah,
On Shavuos. Okay, that's
That
Shavuos.
would be
And this is for the next year, I won't eat
There's
matzah.
no real reason why.
He's allowed to eat matzah next year,
I'm
Pesach.
asking
How's
such
the
thing, maybe
answer
for
himself
their
right?
Rosa, there's no such thing.
And if he can, actually, maybe.
It's a two-step.
If he says that matzah
If
is
you're
also
not
to
gonna eat matzah, it's a one
okay,
step
and this
up. You can't
matzah is
say-
also, matzah is also, I don't want to eat matzah for a year.
It's
That's
another that
That's
can't be
okay,
chal.
this is-
Yes.
I have a
But if he said he
matzah.
made it Shavuos
Can
time,
I go eat? some-
you're allowed to make it minute down Shavuos that can't eat matzah.
Saying the matzah.
So now it's chal through Pesach, no?
You turning it into like chal.
How's he making a net
I'm
that
saying
I don't know
maybe
the
you
halacha.
don't actually have the
I
ability.
think it's come on. I think it's
That's
come
not
on. Because even though it's mushbah by Mount
in
Sinai,
advance. if they're
but the point
already-
about it is the chefs and the cigar. There's a difference in.
You
I
say
can't make
that
my
before
miss.
Pesach?
You make
mitzvah.
a shvur, but
Farm
a neder,
Pesach.
you make a
Yes,
neder.
exactly.
Right.
On Pesach.
So what do I do? I'm an honest.
Just eat the
The law
matzah.
is that you could.
Yeah.
Like personally
It
matzah,
works, and it's
Yeah.
also but asking why. Why?
And
is that?
there's a chorus on the chorus. The chorus on Korban
Why?
Pesach.
Because it doesn't.
The
it doesn't go
chorus
direct
on
against the mitzvah.
if you don't bring Korban Pesach.
Your mitzvah is to go
I
eat
don't know if
matzah.
there's a chorus
You're
on
making this
matzah.
happen.
Yeah, l'chayra, it's a matzah really
Directly
through. It
causing you not
might be
to eat.
yes, it might be the same. I don't
want
know.
to say, hypothesize that it's
All right,
not
let's get to
actually
the
possible.
Okay, so all I wanted to bring out was that there was something on Matan Torah that was all about that you should get a simcha Torah. That you, although you're getting very upset, but that's part of the Torah. Says Igle Tal that the fighting in learning is the ikka.
Let's learn the.
That's what I'm saying. No. Okay, so now let's talk about
do your
milk.
mitzvah eating matzah.
I know you don't like this, but there
But
were.
you had a one-step issur of making kafir.
So now we're going to talk about the final piece.
Now, you
And that
forced
is
yourself to
the reason why do we have milk? So over here, so we said the reason is because b'yesh b'zeh zich l'shtei alechem. It's a zichr on the shtei alechem because you do first milchiks, then fleishiks.
Watch that left.
Because you have to have two breads. You have to, you can't have the same bread for milchiks and fleishiks.
Right.
So you're going to have to. What do you have to do?
Stay left there for what do with cheese.
No, wait a second. So you do, please listen.
Yeah,
So when you start off your meal, you start off with a cheese, a milchik and bread.
Why do you have to do milk?
And this carefully, I'll tell you why. So that you have to take off the bread
Yeah.
and put a new bread on there. So you have a meal, one meal, you take the meal, and this is what Mr. Bertago it says over here, Zeichel, I think.
Why do you
Just read the definition. Because he's now is to eat meat. New business. What you have to do is you wash out your mouth. You have something to drink, right? But you swish it inside you. Because you eat two bread, one which is milk bread, and now you stop, and they can't have the same
But
bread.
technically, if there's older people, but if there's no children,
No,
you
no,
you gotta look over.
yeah,
All little kids.
No. If you wash your hands, and you gotta be very careful. In the days of I grew up in the world, you didn't buy sliced bread. Sliced bread is easy. But if you didn't buy sliced bread, so you held the bread and you cut it. Remember, we used to have a brother, those things. By the way, no, you have it with every day with challah. Right? Sliced challah. Today you get salad. Right? So don't use your hand schmuck with the milchiks or fleishiks. You have to change. You have to change.
The Hasidim don't even know this.
Okay. Now. So he says over here, Shema v'ani shemati. Mishnah Berurah says this. V'ani shemati b'shem God lechad. Oid b'shem God lechad. Sha'am atam anoch lezeh. Very geschmack atam. Ki b'shas sha'amdu al hasina v'klim HaTorah. Ki b'aseres adibris niskal lehem al yedei zeh kol chalkei HaTorah. And then, therefore, he writes over here, Shebetses Adibris, that the halachas lemotzu malechel tekef ki machali cholav. They couldn't have nothing else to eat. Only machali cholav because all the pots and pans were the way you said it. Then he says it slightly differently. Actually, he says it takes a long time. Once you after Mount Torah. But you want to have hot mon?
Yeah, he cooked them on. Cooked, fried.
Okay. But anyway, at the time, but let's get to the point. The very, very important point, and that is, Rabbi, is that the very. I would love to have gotten to it. You know, it was one of Rav Hutton asked the kasha, and I read to you that why do we make a bracha of Harav? No, we don't make that bracha by any other mitzvah. Why do we make a bracha of Harav? No, by shaking lulav. Why don't we make the Harav law by and let there be a Harav no by the mitzvah? Right. That's kasha.
We're eating cheesecake.
He's eating cheesecake.
The okay, fine.
Yeah.
The cheesecake is okay.
Yeah. But there's no bracha. That's the difference. If it would have been a bracha, there would have been a Harav no. But since there's no bracha on eating the cheesecake, other than the shachal lebavari.
Oh no, the little that's what the cross. They're gonna make a whole shit. The whole shit is not gonna do. They take the rub,
Okay, but anyway, let's get to the point. So the point that we're trying to get to, and the message that we're trying to get to, is one message. That the Ikea, according to many people, and Rambam Ben Ahar says it, that if you made, I allowed to go to a shiur to somebody a guy gives a shiur in Torah, and you made the Issa Hana on this guy.
No, you can't make Nedurim. It doesn't make sense. That goes against the Torah.
No, I know. I said that I don't only have a Hana from this guy, and he gave a shiur like me. Let's say you didn't like me at all. Yeah, but forget about Torah. Let's say you didn't like me at all, and he said I don't want to have a Hana from this guy. Are you allowed to come to a shiur? Are you allowed to come to a shiur? Are you allowed to come to a shiur? You allowed to come to a shiur? Mamish is the wrong Nahar says you're not. You know why? Because Torah is the only thing that was the skufa. That is the mitzvah. The mitzvah is to have a nor from learning.
But he gets an Aveda, does the way.
When he gives the shiur?
When he does the Neder.
Yeah, my goodness, he's done a better. You don't have to make Nedarim, but avoiding Nedarim, a lot of things.
There's a kaput on that, buddy.
So what?
Eat more cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you?
What's the topic?